Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Just Believe podcast. I'm your host, Herbie Mack. Today, I'm honored and blessed to come across this young woman's radar. She goes by the name of Ice. I'm so thrilled. I want to hear her story, but obviously, I can't tell it better than her. Ice, please introduce yourself.
Hi, HB. So nice to meet you. Thanks for having me in your Just Believe podcast. The name of this podcast itself is really amazing because in the current world, all we need is belief, hope on everything. So I love the concept of this podcast. So about me, I worked as a celebrity, like a media person back in India. I started my journey when I was 16. I got into a dance reality show, won it, and then I started my TV hosting skills. So I was hosting a couple of primetime shows, and then I got into serial acting. So when I was 23, I got married and moved to the United States. So I'm here for nearly more than 5 years now. So how I relate to your podcast is, so once I moved to the United States, myself and my husband, we went through a big financial crisis. So my husband's family has like looted all the money from us. So we were like in a very bad situation. And I have left my career, a very good career back in India, having hopes that my life would be better here. But then we had to go through such a terrible roller coaster ride. And now we are in a very good position, thanks to God, thanks to our family. So yeah, that's it. Those times were like the very low point in my life. I've been totally depressed. I gained a lot of weight, and then I transformed. I lost like 50 pounds in 8 months. Yeah, I was so aggressive about the workout thing. And then I transformed not just physically, but also mentally. And today I'm a teacher. I train students in acting and modeling at Barbizon Acting School. And also I have my own dance studio, Artishwari Academy, where I promote a traditional art form called Karagatam, where I balance a pot on my head and dance with it. So I've been conducting workshops, traveling across USA and Canada and taking classes.
Wow. I wasn't even ready for that. All right. Well, let's backtrack a little bit. So you're originally from India.
Yes.
So you was able to do media there first?
Yeah. So how it started is actually I was a very extracurricular kid, even from the childhood age. So I was always interested in giving speech, participating in different competitions, and I always win it as well. So during my 10th standard high school holidays, my brother was also interested in this media talent thing. So he participated in a talent hunt competition from a TV channel. I went there as an audience to see how these set things, everything work. And there, one female participant didn't show up on that day. So they got impressed by the way I speak and all that. And they asked me if I want to give it a try. So I just give it a try, and then I won the competition. And that's how I got into the industry. Yes.
You see how the universe works? That is outstanding. You're like, I'm just going to show up, but look what was handed to you, and look how your career started in the media. That's outstanding.
Yes, that's totally true. See, when we believe something that we do, and when we don't expect anything out of it, universe leads the way. If we are like so focused on the result, if our work is more result oriented, then we will get stagnant once we reach the result. I've never been result oriented. I always try to enjoy the journey. So that's why I believe universe takes me to the next levels.
Oh yes, no, I definitely agree. Sometimes we get so focused on doing one thing that we miss out on the best thing ever, right?
Yeah, that's so, because we'll be so focused on getting that thing right, but by the time we reach the destination, we will think like that may not be right by that time we reach, right? So it differs, it keeps changing, things keep changing. So we should be adaptable, go with the flow, and try to work on our craft, try to improvise ourselves, try to learn more, and then rest. I leave it to the universe.
Yes. No, that is great. How long was you in the media over there?
So I worked nearly 8 to 10 years. Yeah,
Okay.
10 years. Yes.
Okay. And then I don't know how, but you was able to land a dancing show? Like you was able to are you naturally a dancer, or it was something that like Okay.
Yes, I am. So I actually, very young, when I was very young, I was terribly sick. Around when I was 10 years old, I got typhoid, jaundice, malaria all together. Yes. And I was hospitalized nearly for 1 year. So before that, you can like see a look at my life in two different time frames, before my sickness and after my sickness. So before that, I was like a regular kid. I go to school. I am good with studies, but I didn't have much of this extracurricular activities, talent, skills, or something like that. But after the sickness, that gave me a kind of perspective, because I was literally on my deathbed. And when I recovered, I was hit with reactive hip arthritis, which is like I was not able to walk at all. I cannot feel my hips that time. It usually occurs for people of age 65 and above. But since I got hit with three major disease, my body couldn't take it, and I got the reactive hip arthritis. So I had to go through a lot of physiotherapy to recover from that. So that time I decided, when I get my life back, I'm going to live to the fullest. So once I recovered from the sickness, I started learning everything possible. So that's when I learned this traditional art form. The thing that you see behind me, the decorated pot, it's the karagam. I put it on my head, balance with it, and dance with it. So I also learned another traditional art form where I tie a stick to my leg and dance on top of it. It's called Poikal Gudre. So these talents and all I started learning one by one. And the moment I got into media, there another opportunity appeared for the dance reality show. So I thought, why not? Let's put all these things that we have learned to this show. And that's how I got into the show and won the title. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I had no idea that you went through that. I can imagine going through that, and you probably trying to find hope.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, that's so true. Because see, at that very young age, you are in a very vulnerable state. On top of it, we are not a very well-off background. My father has only a small, what do you call, a mom pop store back in India. Okay, so I was hospitalizing your kid for nearly a year takes a lot of money, right? So during that time, I was even worried about that. My worry is not about only getting better, but I was worried that I'm being a burden to my parents. They can't afford these medical services, things like that. So, and my mom, she's a very timid, polite person. And when the doctor asks, like, what happened to your doctor? Because every time you see a different doctor, they'll ask the entire history, right? By the time she explains itself, she'll be all tears. So I had to do the explanation. So first I got this disease and then this happened, because one medicine will give side effects to the other disease. That's how it kept on going and going. So as you said, hope is the only thing that kept me going, because at that time, yeah, I don't remember anything else but having hope that one day I'll get away from this bed. And from that day onwards, nothing can stop me. Yeah, that's what I was thinking during that time.
What age was you?
10. Yeah, it started when I was 10, and I completely recovered when I was 12 and a half. Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm that's powerful in itself. Like that is, you are a true superhero. I want to tell you that. So after you finally come out your shell, right? And you're like, I learned all these rituals of dancing. I want to dance. And you nailed the dancing reality show. How was that experience?
Oh, that was amazing, because when I started learning dance itself, it's not something a regular dance style. As I told you, tying a stick to my leg and dancing on top of it. My mom, even my instructors were very afraid, because coming from a hip arthritis background, how will I be able to balance? And if I get any injury, that will be even difficult to recover from, right? So, but I had this drive inside me. I was like, if not now, then when? And I was like, I never had second thoughts about it. I can do it. If I cannot, who will? That's how I always look at life. So the reality show is like a real good turning point in my life, because that gave me a huge fame. And that's only after that show I got into the anchoring TV hosting shows opportunities. So, and in that reality show particularly, there is a very famous dance choreographer. He's one legendary choreographer in India. His name is Sundaram Master. So he was in the media industry even before I was born. Okay, he is like a great legend, and he told me that he's seeing the real goddess in me when I perform. So that kind of made me so emotional, and that's how I see dance as well. Dance is more like a meditation for me.
Yeah.
I feel my best self when I do the dance, and it gives me a balance, both physically and mentally. Yes.
I love that. I love that. No, I talk about like dancing as well. Like as far as like, whether you're dancing like your type of style of dancing with like choreography, or just letting the hands and the body just do whatever it does, it's relieving. Like it whatever stress that you have is just exit the body. You're like, oh man, I was actually mad about that. I'm not even mad about that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they call it a happy dance sometimes, right? When you get happy, you dance. But it's very important to dance even when you're sad, because you will immediately feel happy if you dance.
Yes. No, that is key. But look, it led to you landing an anchor job.
Yeah.
But it seemed like you had like no dreams of like, hey, this is what I'm going to do as a career.
Yes, that's so true. Yeah, I was a regular school going girl, and yeah, I've done like a couple of things in my school days. Like I've attended this cultural exchange program where majority of the things were focused towards dance. And I was also part of this, what do you call NCC in the United States? A corporal, like before army, you'll get a training during school days, right? Is there anything like that in the United States?
As far as like before we yeah, so
like
most
march pass, drill everything during the important days. Yeah. So I was a part of that, and I was the parade commander of India in my school days. I used to do the drill, march pass, giving commands, things like that. So yeah, I'm always open to options. I always want to learn more about myself and what this world got to offer. So when I got this anchoring job, as I told you, I'm always good at speaking. I interact with people so well, and I have this command: when I step on a stage and talk, people will listen. even when I was young. So I thought, okay, why not just give it a shot? And that too turned out to be so well, because I started as a duo anchoring when I first started. Myself and another male anchor was with me, and then I started doing my own shows, celebrity interviews, movie reviews, things like that. So that really took off, because a dance reality show I did only one, but when it comes to anchoring, I did like more than 5 to 10 shows. Yeah, series of shows. Yes.
Okay. So now you're doing the anchoring thing.
Yeah, so now I'm like doing only events, not a regular TV show kind of thing, because I moved to the United States. And now I'm more into taking these workshops, because the dance form that I told you that I mentioned is now at its dying stage. Only few people in the world knows how to perform it. So I really want to promote that art form and prevent it from dying. So I'm more focused towards on taking workshops on those dance forms.
So the question I was going to ask was, you mentioned that you married, right? Like you found love. Like, was it from anchoring, or was it just outside of your career?
Okay, so this might sound like shocking or surprising to you, but in India, it's a very common thing, arranged marriage. Okay. So where our parents meet each other, and we have this horoscope for the bride and groom. They see whether the horoscope match, and then if we like they'll exchange photographs. If we like each other by seeing at the picture, then we'll give a shot by doing a video call, because my husband was here in the United States during that time. So we first spoke through Skype and Zoom, and then we got like, okay, this guy seems to be nice. He is understanding. And then we thought, okay, let's meet in person and see how it works. So when he came to India, that was our engagement actually. So I found love after marriage. That's how I should put it. Yeah.
I love that. I might name the podcast that I fell in love after marriage.
Yeah, because I'm also a believer of there is nothing called a happily ever after, because mostly usually this Disney princess thing or the marriage itself, they overrated by calling, okay, once you find your loved one, that's it, you're all set for life. It's not how it works. You have to put the work every day, because see, even for our parents, they have seen us from the day we are born, but we get into conflicts. There will be misunderstanding even with our person. How can we expect a man or a woman that we have met only like a few months and then asking them to understand us completely from top to bottom? That's not happening, right? So PK, my husband name is PK, so PK and I met. We kind of felt a connection between each other, and we thought, okay, with some work by putting some additional work, we can work it out. Yeah, this seems to be a nice match. And one important thing that I liked about my husband when I first met him is he had no clue who I was back in India. Like he don't watch TV much. He doesn't know that I'm a celebrity. He doesn't know that I had big cutouts. I was in the advertisement.
No idea.
Yeah, no idea at all. Oh, that kind of impressed me, because usually when people, other male who tries to flirt with me back in India, they come to me only because I'm famous. They try to impress me by talking to me. PK is like, oh, you're doing all this? Good for you.
It's like, oh, that's nice, but I'm really trying to get to know you.
Yeah, he's more interested to know about the person that I am rather than the work that I've been doing. So that's kind of impressive to me. So yeah, as I said, we found love after marriage.
No, that's key. That is key. I married myself, and even though like everybody like, oh, you're married, your life is so perfect, and it's like, no, every day you still have to learn how to communicate. You still have to learn how to deal with this person, right? Like she have to deal with my shenanigans and vice versa. I have to deal with her shenanigans. But that is key. What was the process of you leaving India to come to the US?
Okay, so that was a bit challenging, but I was mentally prepared for it from the moment I entered media, because that's how things work, right? You cannot, once you got your own wings, you have to fly out of the cage. You have to fly out of the nest. Yes. Yeah. So I was mentally prepared for that, but still it was even very, very difficult for me, because I had my complete roots in India, my family, friends, the career that I've built, everything was back there. But how I saw it is, it's not like I'm leaving behind something, but I'm entering into something new. That's how I saw it. I saw it like, this is the next phase of my life. Let's see what's in store for me over there. So by changing that perspective, it kind of helped me to adapt to my new reality, new normal. So it was challenging, but at the same time, very, exciting journey, I would call it. So, but as unlike the regular couple, our honeymoon phase was never a honeymoon phase. Yeah, as I told earlier, we had a very big shock waiting for us in the United States. So yeah, until I started, it was all nice, exciting. The moment I reached the United States, it was all like, oh my God, this is what's been going on in our life. I didn't know that at all. Yeah.
The beauty about like the struggle is having someone there with you.
Sorry?
I said the beauty about having, like, going through the struggle is having someone there with you. Right? Like having someone there to understand, like, you're not by yourself, right? Because I'm pretty sure that put y'all together, like on a different level of like, okay, like he's actually caring about me. Like he actually, or she's actually caring about me during this hard time and this hard phase in our life. I can imagine that made y'all stronger as a unit, not just individually.
That's so true. I totally agree to it, because my husband, even today, he mentions, if you had left me during that time, Ice, I would be nowhere here. Like I would be nowhere, because I could have seen that situation in a two different ways. One, my husband betrayed me because he didn't tell me that in the first place. Once I came here, only I realized that we are bankrupt. We have no money. His parents took all his money and cheated on him. Or I could have seen it like, even my husband got betrayed by his parents. So I chose to see it in the second way, because he trusted them. He trusted them with his money because they are his parents, but it's their mistake to cheat their own son, right? So I also realized at that point, thanks to my previous experiences, or I don't know what it is, because I saw my husband PK. If I leave him now, he's gone. That's it, because he has no purpose to live for. And already he's so devastated. He's like the 33-year-old man with no evidence that he had lived so far, because his family cheated on him. He lost all the money that he had earned so far. So what is there for him other than me? Only if I stand, he can at least look up to me, and okay, I'm going to work for her going forward. I have some reason to live for. So that kind of encouraged me to stand with him. But it's very easy to say now, but in that situation,
oh yeah, you're like, man, what did I sign up for?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because even my parents are so upset. They are like, okay, it's your call. We are okay with any of your decision. If you want to stay, you stay, or if you want to leave, that's also fine, because you have a better life here. But then I thought, no, things happen for a reason. Let's see. And I also believe there is no running away from problems. If you run away from one, you will face another. The only way is through. So I thought, okay, let's support him, and let's see the end of this thing, where this things lead. So that's how we saw it. And as you said, we are very thankful, because we built this closeness, the understanding that we have now, all thanks to those issues, because we will be talking like 20-30 hours a day. Not even 24, 30 hours a day. We had to discuss so many things. We had to plan each and everything, their expenses, what and how to have trust going forward. And building trust, gaining my trust again was a big challenge for him, because I decided to stay, but still it was difficult for me to completely trust him again. So it's a lot of work.
No, yeah. Relationships are a lot of work. It's nothing, like, as you said, it's not a fairy tale ending. You still, every day, you still have to build through it. I'm glad that you decided to just stay. Like, no, we're gonna work this out, because I'm pretty sure you learned a lot about yourself during that. Not even just him, but yourself. Like, wow.
So true. Yes, that's so true. Because back in when I was working in the media industry, I was like the first one from my family to get exposed to such a glam industry. So none of my family members had an experience how to deal with the different people that I meet each day. So it's all up to me. Like, even when I was a teenager, I used to handle all the managing works, like which show, which day, talking to the directors, teams, everything. I used to do that. My parents or my father, mother was not able to do that. So by the time when I got married, I had this idea that, by looking at a person, I can guess what kind of a person he or she is. I've gained that maturity to look and understand a situation. But when this thing happened, I was like, no, I had no idea that I'm marrying a person like this. By looking at him, I was not able to judge or even guess, right? So that was kind of an eye-opener for me. And also one more thing, I used to be a very angry person, like a short-tempered one. If something doesn't go the way I expect, or if someone is, I'm a more punctual person as well. So if something gets delayed, I might get upset a lot. But this particular issue made me so calm. I should say, like, I've become like a Zen master, because by shouting at someone, you cannot make them listen to you at all. I realized that completely. And even by calmly saying also that only if the person wants to listen, they will listen, right? So by shouting, you completely ruling out the chance of making them listen to you at all. So those kind of things I really learned in this journey. And I also become more go with the flow person. And I also started believing everything happens for a reason, and I'm always a firm believer of karma. What goes around comes back around, right? So
Yeah.
even a lot of bad things were happening to me, but I always tried to put my best foot out. I tried to wish only good for others, even those who did wrong to me. I never wish like, oh, they should be in hell or nothing like that. I was like, okay, your karma will come back to
Yeah.
you. That's
It will
it.
come back.
Yeah.
It always does. It always does.
Yeah.
That's why I
Let's
always believe
focus
out
on
like,
my life. Yeah.
yeah, I'm just gonna put out that good energy. No, I'm glad that you said that. What was the adjustment like culture wise for you?
Oh, culture-wise. So, I wouldn't call it much because in the current era, we have Netflix, Amazon Prime videos, and we see movies of all different cultures, things like that. And I used to be a movie buff when I was in India. My brother, he's also a movie buff. He used to put all these American films when we are a teenagers as well. So, I was like, when I came to the United States, I felt like, oh, I know these people. I've seen them all in the movies, but living among them was quite a different feel for them. I was like, oh, these characters, I've seen them in the movies, especially in this horror films. You will see the toilets where when the
Yeah.
tissue runs out, a hand will pop out like that. So whenever I go to a toilet and if I feel like I'm alone, that scares the shit out of me. Yes.
I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, I felt like I know how this culture works here, but to live among them, to to coexist, to
Yeah.
cohabitate with them, that was a different feeling. And as I said, I grew up studying in a government school, Indian government school, so English was not even a prime language there. So only when I got into media, I started working on my speaking skills, English speaking skills. So after coming to the United States, it was so difficult for me to even place an order when I go to a restaurant or Starbucks. I'll say something, they will keep on saying, come again, come again. I'll be so fed up. And then
You're like, I know what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because here they'll understand it only in a certain way that you have to pronounce it in a very particular way. Even if you change some decibels or just a little bit tweak in a pronunciation, they'll be like, no, I don't understand. So those are the things that was quite challenging, but I liked it. I felt like, oh, I'm living the movie. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad that you said that. Because I know like sometimes when we come from like, I'm originally from the Bronx. So like I went to Ghana, right?
Okay.
And going to Ghana was like, oh, okay, like this is different. Like I had to learn like a little bit of but they have like multiple languages there. But like one of the places I was in, like Tweed, is like their main language. So like as you said, like I would order something and I'm like, hey, and they'll just look at me like, what? Like even though they speak English there, like the menu's in Tweed. So I'm like, oh, hey, how do you pronounce that? And then they would tell me, and I'm like, okay, cool. This is what I want. Like I had to just learn to adjust and learn how to like, okay, let me lose my accent, my New York accent, and break it down like this. And it was so helpful, like just learning that experience. It was like, oh, all right, I get it. Like, okay, cool. Like I can relate on that aspect of like trying to adjust and trying to coexist. But I wanted to ask you, as far as like you coexisting and now like you like, okay, I'm getting used to this American lifestyle. What was next for you in the sense of career wise?
Okay, that's a very interesting question because so many things happening in career-wise for me this year. As I said, I joined as the acting modeling instructor in the Barbizon Acting School. Barbizon Acting School is all across United States. They are in 50 states in the United States. So that's a real big thing for me. As I said, for a person who's not even confident in speaking the language, now I'm the teacher for the future Hollywood stars, training them in acting and modeling. That's like a real big thing for me. And I've signed a movie which is about to be shot this year. So I'm playing an important role in that movie. Yes, my first debut in an American film. And another thing I told you right about my physical transformation in Beachbody. So actually I use this Beachbody videos. It's an online workout program, and through that it's like a Netflix for workout. Okay, they have so many different styles of workout. So by doing that, those home workouts only, I transformed, and I sent my transformation picture to them, and I got selected in the semifinals. Yeah, from 44,000 entries, I'm in the top 94. Yes. So
Congrats.
yeah, I just gave my interview to the NBC in Access to Hollywood about my transformation, my journey from India to USA. So many interesting things are happening around me. And once this COVID situation gets better, I'm planning to do more workshops on my dance work. And I'm also a great artist. I draw really well, and I've been taking online classes on that. So I'm trying to promote art in everyone's life, because as I said, I strongly believe we all need some kind of art. It doesn't necessarily have to be dance, drawing, or things like that. Everyone should find their own interest in any form of art, because that's the only way we can bring balance to the life. If you keep working every day, and by the time, even if you're earning enough, you're happy with your own life, still you will feel that emptiness in you. Why am I doing all this? We should have that purpose, something that makes us feel liberated, makes us feel connected to the universe. Only art can do that. So my future, like a way futuristic goal, is to create an art school which can help people to have a balanced life.
Sounds like you're about to create an amazing vision board, because that's what I normally do for like my dreams and goals. I put a vision board up, like I create one just so I can always like keep aiming to go higher and keep pushing. No, that's amazing. Crazy accomplishments. I'm proud of you. It was something that you said prior to it with the losing weight that I wanted to touch on. At one point I was like 215, 280, right? Wow. Like 215 to 218. Yeah. And it was like the happiest point of my life, quote unquote, because I struggled with depression. And I realized, like, wait, hold on, man, these jeans ain't fitting right. What's going on? I jumped on the scale and I saw it like 215. And just like you, I was like, oh, this is, I'm not even a dad. I got a dad bod. Hold on, man, we got to lose this. And I was able to lose about 55 pounds. Now I'm back at like my natural weight. Okay. And for me, it was important to understand things do happen for a reason, right? Like, like of like, oh man, like I gained all the weight because I was happy, right? And I let my body go. And my wife was like, hey, I see you struggling with the pants. Like, do you need help putting them on? That was a sign for me to lose weight. But it challenged me in the sense of, how bad do I want it? Do I really want to lose the weight, or do I just want to keep gaining weight? And I kept like working out to like lose the weight. Like you said, you lost yours in what, 8 months?
Yeah, I lost 50 pounds in 8 months.
And I lost about 50 pounds in about 55 pounds in about 9 to 10 months. Mm-hmm. And after that, I realized, wait, I can achieve whatever I want.
Yeah, that because it's a next level of confidence.
A next level. It was like, oh, wow, like I can actually do this. And you never realize when you put your mind to something that you can do it, right? Because I was like, at the point, I was just like, man, I don't know if I can do this. I was doubting myself. Man, like, I'm only like 5'11". Like, hold on, how did I get this big that fast? But then for me to lock in and then lose it, it gave me the confidence not only to achieve whatever goal I wanted, but to actually share the stories that I experienced. So like my trauma of my past and the childhood. And after that, like so many people have reached out to me. It was like, hey man, like, why don't you tell your story more and more? And I created this podcast that you're currently on, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah, that also gives a sense of control over life, right? If you want something, if you put your mind and soul into it, you can definitely get it, right?
Yes. What was the process for you once you lost your 50 pounds? Because I know, like, for me, nobody could tell me anything about, like, hey, you can't do this. So what was your confidence level like for you?
Yeah, as you said, since you already know, like, how this journey works, the transformation journey, the person who wants to lose weight, they clearly know nothing stops you other than themselves. they are the reason why they are in that position right now, and they can only pull them out of that situation as well. So for me, I was not like, unlike you, I was not happy. That's why I got weight. I was like so depressed, and that's why I got all the weight, because all those sleepless nights, crying, improper diet. I was not like taking food at the right time, sleeping at the right time. So those all took its toll on me, and I didn't even realize I was getting fat, because we didn't go for much shopping, things like that. It was like nearly 1 year I hadn't do any shopping at all. I was like, okay, let's. And I had these t-shirts of my husband which are like pretty loose for me. I used to wear that, and it never occurred to me that I'm gaining weight at all. So one day around my birthday, we thought, let's go for a shopping, and I picked a dress. I'll send that picture to you. It will be amazing to look at it. I picked a dress size that I used to wear before, and it's not getting inside me at all. Like, it's not coming below the shoulder only. I was like, oh my God, what happened to me? I pulled it down, and I'm not able to recognize myself in the dressing room mirror. And at that time also, we were not doing well in the financial side as well. So I told to myself, see, nothing is in my control in my life. Like the finance or the people, everything is out of my control. The only thing I can take control of is what I eat and how hard I work out. So let's focus on that. These are the only things I can have control over in my life, and let's focus on that. That's how I started. And I had tailbone injury around that time. So it was very difficult for me to start with squats, things like that. But slowly I started with the modified versions. And in the beginning, you won't see result at all, right? For like nearly 3 months.
Yeah, about 3 months.
Yeah, not even an inch or a pound, nothing, no result at all. It was so upsetting. But again, that was my only motivation. If I don't do this, I have nothing better to do. I was like, I have nothing better to do at all, because I wasn't even dancing during that time. I was completely depressed. So I started with this modified workouts, and at one point I started feeling better. And eventually my weights also started reducing. And as you said, that feeling, that emotion that we get, it's the endorphins, right? The happy hormones you get after the workout. And it started giving my confidence back. And that's when I participated in the Mrs. India USA pageant, and I won the runner-up in that one. So after my transformation, I thought, okay, now I have enough confidence. Let's see, because even though I worked in the Indian media industry for nearly 10 years, after this issue, that completely took away all my confidence, I should say. Because I was thinking I'm a different person, but I was not able to recognize these issues happening around me, and now I'm in the middle of it and I'm not able to control it at all. Those things devastated me. So after my transformation, I entered into the Mrs. India USA. When I won the second runner-up title, I was like, okay, I still got it in me. Let's get back to it. And that's when I started the dance, everything again. So it totally got my balance back to me. That's what I would say.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm glad you share that, because I get, it's important to share that, of like confidence and building it and realizing like, oh wait, I can do this. So if there's someone out here that's listening that's going through somewhat of what you experience, as far as like, man, I'm got to adjust to this country, got to adjust to coexisting with everyone else in their lifestyle, right? What advice would you give them?
I would say everyone is fighting their own battle. You're not alone. That's the first thing I would say, because when we go through some tough situation, we always tend to think, God, why me? Why this is happening to me? Everybody in the world is facing something, is fighting their own battle, and most of the times their problems are even way bigger than ours. So in South India, where I grew up, there is a saying, if you keep a stone closer to your eyes, the entire world will be gone. If you place the stone a little bit further away, you will realize that it's a small stone. That's how the problems are. We should never bring it so close, then the entire world will disappear. Only we will be focusing on the problem. So try to take a perspective, take a deep breath, take a walk, and put the distance between the issue and yourself, then you will get a perspective of how to solve it or how to move on. Because not every issue that needs to get solved. Sometimes you just have to leave it and move on with your life. And life is beautiful. Always have hope. Things keep changing. Nothing is permanent. These are all things my grandma used to teach me, because with her experience, she is now 76 years old, and every issue, from my sickness to my media experiences, when my marriage was like, so those situations happened. Every time when I go to her, she always tells me this thing: this too shall pass. Just go with the flow. That's what I want to tell everyone. This too shall pass. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. So please let everybody know where they can find you at.
Okay, so my name is Ishwarya, and my social media profile names are Ice. Yes, Ice, baby, Ice, ICE. Ice Prabakar is my social media handles. You can find me on all Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, everywhere. I'm not there in Twitter. Twitter is too much for me. So only the fun stuff, Insta, Facebook, TikTok. And also I got my YouTube channel where I give motivational videos in my South Indian languages. And I also do dance videos on these special art form that I told you about. I try to do a collab, like a fusion with the traditional South Indian art form for Western music. So those videos will be interesting for the audience, I believe. So you can find me everywhere with Ice Prabakar.
Thank you. This was outstanding. I appreciate it. You dropped a lot of knowledge. I don't think you realized it. But thank you for doing this. I appreciate this.
Thank you so much, HB. It was so nice talking to you. I was like talking to my friend. Thanks a lot for this.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. That means a lot to me. But until then, see you next time, guys. Peace.
Peace.